Welcome to Middleton Hall, a Learn English radio series from the British Council. The Suspect, Episode 4.
Hello, my name's Amanda Carlton.
And I'm David Evans. And in this series we aim to improve your English language skills with the help of a drama about an English country house hotel. In the story so far, we've heard that there was a robbery at a jeweller's shop in London, and the police are now watching Middleton Hall because they are suspicious of someone there.
Mrs. Middleton thinks the suspect is a guest called Mr. Greaves, but Mr. Middleton doesn't agree. This is what they said in the last programme.
Oh, Janet, you can't be serious.
Well, the police are definitely watching someone.
But why do you think it's Harry Greaves?
There's something suspicious about him.
You're just saying that because you don't like him.
There is definitely something suspicious about him. I mean, we know he's interested in jewellery.
Do we?
Yes, he collects silver.
Janet, that's different. He bought a silver teapot in the village auction. That does not mean he's a jewellery thief.
Well, how does he earn all his money? He's got lots of it.
Oh, I don't know. He's a businessman. There are lots of people like him. Anyway, we can talk about this in the morning. I'm tired. Good night, my dear.
Just a moment, Charles. What was that?
What?
Listen.
I can't hear anything.
Something's going on outside.
Oh, it's probably nothing.
Something is happening outside.
Really?
Go and have a look, Charles.
Oh, all right.
In today's first scene, Mrs. Middleton is telling Maria and Kevin about what happened when Mr. Middleton went outside. She says,
When Charles went outside, who did he find? Mr. Greaves.
She continues,
He was doing something out there. I don't know what, but he was up to no good.
If you are up to no good, it means you are doing something wrong. So Mrs. Middleton is now sure that the police are watching Mr. Greaves, and she's worried because Mr. Greaves is leaving the hotel that day. But before they can continue their discussion, Mr. Greaves walks into reception. He says,
Could someone prepare my bill? Sadly, I have to leave today.
And he adds,
Could you order me a taxi as well? I have to catch a train at 10 o'clock.
Mrs. Middleton suggests,
Why don't you go into the restaurant and have a cup of tea while you wait?
And here are 3 questions for you. What does Mrs. Middleton then tell Kevin to do? What is Mrs. Middleton going to do next? And what does she tell Maria to do? Here's the scene.
Anyway, when Charles went outside, who did he find? Mr. Greaves.
No. What was he doing out there?
He said he'd heard some noise.
Perhaps he had.
Oh, no, I don't think so. He was doing something out there. I don't know what, but he was up to no good.
So you think it's him, then? You really think the police are watching Mr. Greaves?
I'm sure of it. But the thing is, he's leaving this morning.
Yes, he is.
So we have to make sure the police get here first.
Mrs. Middleton, he's coming.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Greaves.
Where's Sitwell?
He's gone away for a few days.
Oh, yes, of course. He told me. Now, I wonder, could someone prepare my bill? Sadly, I have to leave today. Oh, and could you order me a taxi as well? I have to catch a train at 10 o'clock.
Of course, Mr. Greaves.
Why don't you go into the restaurant and have a cup of tea while you wait?
I don't have very long, but, oh well, I suppose I could.
Maria will bring it to you in just a moment.
Excellent. Excellent.
Right, we don't have long. Let's think about what we should do. Kevin, Go and see if you can find those policemen who've been watching outside. Tell them Mr. Greaves is leaving in half an hour.
Right.
I'm going to call the local police station and let them know what's happening. Maria, you stay here at reception and make sure Mr. Greaves doesn't go anywhere.
What about his cup of tea?
Keep him waiting for a few minutes and then take it to him. Right. Hello? Hello? Is that the police? It's Janet Middleton from Middleton Hall. Yes, that's right. The hotel. Yes, well, I have...
So, what does Mrs. Middleton tell Kevin to do? She says,
Kevin, go and see if you can find those policemen who've been watching outside. Tell them Mr. Greaves is leaving in half an hour.
What is Mrs. Middleton going to do? She says,
I'm going to call the local police station and let them know what's happening.
and what does she tell Maria to do? She says,
Maria, you stay here at reception and make sure Mr. Greaves doesn't go anywhere. You're listening to Middleton Hall, a Learn English radio programme from the British Council.
In the next scene, Gary comes into reception. He's the man who is working on the roof at the back of the hotel. He says to Maria,
Do you remember I told you about that strange woman? You know, the one with the long grey hair, the one who was watching me yesterday morning?
He continues,
I've seen her again. She's looking out of a window on the first floor. I don't know what she's doing, but I don't like it.
And here are two questions. What does Gary want Maria to do? And does Maria agree to do it? Here's the scene.
Maria! Maria!
Oh, hello, Gary. Is everything all right?
Do you remember I told you about that strange woman? You know, the one with the long grey hair, the one who was watching me yesterday morning?
Oh, yes.
Well, I've seen her again. She's looking out of a window on the first floor. I don't know what she's doing, but I don't like it.
Really?
Come outside and I'll show you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gary, but I have to stay here.
It'll only take a moment.
But Mrs. Middleton said I had to stay at reception.
But you're not doing anything. There's no one here. Come on, just for a moment. Please?
I shouldn't really, but... Oh, all right.
So what does Gary want Maria to do? He says,
Come outside and I'll show you.
Maria doesn't want to. She tells Gary,
But Mrs. Middleton said I had to stay at reception.
but Gary insists, saying,
But you're not doing anything. There's no one here. Come on, just for a moment.
and does Maria agree to go? Yes, she says,
I shouldn't really, but... Oh, all right.
You're listening to Middleton Hall, a Learn English radio series from the British Council. And don't forget that you can find more resources at the British Council Learn English website at learnenglish.britishcouncil.org. While Maria is outside with Gary, Mr. Middleton walks into reception and finds there's no one there. Then Mr. Greaves comes in and says,
Ah, Charles, I was hoping to have one last cup of tea before I go, but I think they must have forgotten it.
Mr. Middleton offers to get him a cup of tea, but Mr. Greaves says,
I'm a bit short of time, and I still have to pay the bill.
and he adds,
I also need a taxi to the station. I hope they've ordered one for me.
So does Mr. Middleton help Mr. Greaves get ready to leave? Here's the scene.
Where is everybody? Sidwell! Oh, he's away, isn't he? So where is everyone else?
Oh, Charles.
Harry, good morning. Is everything all right?
Actually, I was hoping to have one last cup of tea before I go, but I think they must have forgotten it.
Oh, dear. I am sorry. I'll get it for you now.
No, it's all right. I'm a bit short of time, and I still have to pay the bill.
Well, I can organise that for you. I'm sure it's on the computer. Yes, here it is. I'll print it out for you.
And I also need a taxi to the station. I hope they've ordered one for me.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm driving that way. I'll give you a lift in my car.
Really? Thank you, Charles.
What time's your train?
10 o'clock.
We'll leave in just a moment then, shall we? There's your bill.
And here's my credit card.
Excellent.
Well, it really has been a most enjoyable stay. I'll be sad to leave.
It's been a pleasure to have you with us, Harry. An absolute pleasure.
Well, does Mr. Middleton help Mr. Greaves get ready to leave? Yes. First, he prints Mr. Greaves's hotel bill, and when Mr. Greaves asks about a taxi to the station, he says,
"Oh, don't worry about that. I'm driving that way. I'll give you a lift in my car."
In other words, he offers to drive Mr. Greaves to the station in his car.
So, is Mr. Greaves the person that the police are watching? And will Mrs. Middleton be able to stop him before he leaves for the railway station? To find out, join us again for the next episode of our story, The Suspect.
Now here's a chance to hear a part of today's drama again.
Anyway, when Charles went outside, who did he find? Mr. Greaves.
No. What was he doing out there?
He said he'd heard some noise.
Perhaps he had.
Oh, no, I don't think so. He was doing something out there. I don't know what, but he was up to no good.
So you think it's him then? You really think the police are watching Mr. Greaves?
I'm sure of it. But the thing is, he's leaving this morning.
Yes, he is.
So we have to make sure the police get here first.
Mrs. Middleton, he's coming.
Ah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Greaves.
Where's Sitwell?
He's gone away for a few days.
Oh, yes, of course. He told me. Now, I wonder, could someone prepare my bill? Sadly, I have to leave today. Oh, and could you order me a taxi as well? I have to catch a train at 10 o'clock.
Of course, Mr. Greaves.
Why don't you go into the restaurant and have a cup of tea while you wait?
I don't have very long, but, well, I suppose I could.
Maria will bring it to you in just a moment.
Excellent. Excellent.
Right, we don't have long. Let's think about what we should do. Kevin, go and see if you can find those policemen who've been watching outside. Tell them Mr. Greaves is leaving in half an hour.
Right.
I'm going to call the local police station and let them know what's happening. Maria, you stay here at reception and make sure Mr. Greaves doesn't go anywhere.
What about his cup of tea?
Keep him waiting for a few minutes and then take it to him. Right. Hello? Hello, is that the police? It's Janet Middleton from Middleton Hall. Yes, that's right, the hotel. Yes.
Maria!
Oh, hello, Gary. Is everything all right?
Do you remember I told you about that strange woman? You know, the one with the long grey hair, the one who was watching me yesterday morning?
Oh, yes.
Well, I've seen her again. She's looking out of a window on the first floor.
But that's all for today. You've been listening to Middleton Hall, a British Council Learn English radio series. And remember, you can find more resources at the British Council Learn English website at learnenglish.britishcouncil.org. Until next time, from Amanda Carlton and me, David Evans.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.